Commercialism and secularism this time of year can make it difficult for parents to teach their children about the sacredness of Holy Week and Easter. In an attempt to tackle that challenge, 16-time bestseller Anthony DeStefano wrote the story of the Easter Bunny and a story of a small bunny who seeks healing from Jesus for his sick mother and faithfully listens to our Savior's words and eventually goes on to share the message of salvation to all who will listen. And here now to tell us more about the book is the book's author, Anthony DeStefano. Anthony, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. So tell us more about the book, the inspiration behind it, and why you decided to write it.
Well, I wrote this book because I was so tired of that silly secular Easter bunny hopping in and taking center stage on this most holy Christian day of the year. We have to be very careful of secular symbols. Parents can't be blind to the fact that there is an ongoing culture war in our society, and our deepest beliefs are under constant and relentless attack. And the other side doesn't hesitate to try to jump over the heads of parents and propagandize children with their woke anti-Christian agenda. So we have to make sure as Catholics that when it comes to these holy days, we keep the true meaning of these holy days front and center of any catechesis for children. I wrote my book because I thought there was a way to adopt the Easter Bunny for a truly religious purpose.
Yeah, and tell us how you were able to do that. Take this secular symbol and give it a sacred meaning.
Well, in my book, what I simply do is I take the main character of the Easter Bunny and I place him in biblical times 2,000 years ago in Palestine. And it so happens that this little bunny has a sick mother who he lives with. She's very sick, can't even get out of bed. And when this bunny hears about this amazing man who can heal with the touch of his hand, Jesus, he gets the idea into his head that he might be able to ask Jesus to cure his mom. And being a good son, he immediately sets out on a journey to find Jesus, and in the process, he actually witnesses the main events of the Passion Week. He sees the Last Supper, he sees the crucifixion, he even sees the resurrection.
I love this so much. What's the big takeaway here? What do you think for parents?
I think the big takeaway is the true meaning of Easter, which is the central Christian message of hope and life after death. The fact that death isn't the end of the story. The end of the story is resurrection and life everlasting in heaven. God can pull good out of the worst evil. That's the message that all of us need to hear over and over. And it's a message that kids need to hear very, very early, because no matter how much we try to shield and protect them, there's just no way to prevent them from experiencing suffering and from grieving over people and even pets in their lives who die. When that happens, they have to be able to grieve in a healthy Christian way. And ultimately, that's the difference between believers and non-believers. Believers don't suffer and grieve any less than non-believers, but we do suffer and grieve with hope. We don't despair. And that belief in the resurrection and heaven is a gift we can give children that will help them have hope over the whole course of their lives. And it's a seed that I hope to have planted in this book and in all the children's books I've written.
Anthony, I am so happy that you wrote this book. It really is a gift to all of us. Before I let you go, really quickly, where can parents find this book?
Proverbially, where all books are sold, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, EWTN, gift store, of course. And I always encourage parents to make use of our Catholic bookstores out there and Christian bookstores.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about this wonderful book. We appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.